I first met Lala at a workshop a few years ago, and during the workshop, one of the things we had to do was dig into, I guess, the motivations and the values behind the brand and behind the business owner. And in that workshop, I remember watching and listening to Lala talk about why she loves what she does. Lala and her team create incredible wedding and event stationery and branding for businesses, and they are really all about creating the magic. And I'll never forget the first time I heard and, as I say, watched Lala speak about her passion and her love for creating that magic for her clients and customers. And magic is obviously the word that I associate with Lala the most. And it's not only through the products and the services that she delivers, it's also through the experience. And I think that's a really forgotten part of delivering a product or a service. It's not just about the outcome, it's about the journey, and it's about everything that you can do on the way through that's going to add to the experience. And that is something that Lala just does so well, and I'm still not sure if she does it deliberately or if it's just something that comes so naturally to her. It's probably a little bit of both. And the thing I also really, really love about Lala is the emotional motivation that sits behind it for her. It's really about creating that sense of connection and that memory that sits behind, the event, the product, the service, whatever it is. And she's brought this sensibility to the table over, a varied number of roles in different industries over the course of her career, which I also find really wonderful. Again, she brings incredible integrity and honesty to the table, passion and energy and fun. And I just really, really enjoy working with this beautiful, beautiful person. Whether she sees it or not, she's really making a massive impact in the lives of the people around her. And I'm so thrilled to be sharing her story with you all today. I hope you enjoy. Lovely Lala, why do people call you Lala?
It is a childhood name.
Oh, gorgeous.
My grandmother chose my name, which was Lahra from Dr. Zhivago, and she is Malay, so it's quite often in the Malay language that La gets added on the end of everything.
Oh, right.
So how are you, La? You good food, La? So, and then obviously Lala just came from that. I hated it when I was growing up because I wanted my real name to be used.
Yeah.
Because I loved it, but as I got older and as I established my business, I tried to find something that I thought people could relate to, they could spell, they could say it in any language, and it became a very big part of my whole brand and me as Lala.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I love it now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think you just used a word then that does describe you so well, and that is finding something that everybody can relate to. You're so inclusive and warm. And the word that I most associate with you, as you know, is magic. You know how to bring it in. So can you tell me a little bit about, what that word means to you?
Oh, wow. Okay. I think when I probably first thought of the word magic, when you think of magic, whether you're a child or an adult, it's something that just kind of magically appears. Like it looks like it has no forethought put to it. It just kind of happens, I suppose. So I suppose that's probably the first word, and it has some sort of wonder to it, doesn't it? Like joy and wonder, and it kind of makes you think about things in a little bit of a different way. So
Absolutely.
maybe that could be it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, and you absolutely do that. And what I found really interesting when I first started working with you was how you've done that, but in different ways over your career, because you haven't always been Lala Design.
No, I have not.
Would you mind sharing a bit about your background?
Yeah, my
Lala?
work history life.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I actually wanted to be a professional dancer when I was younger, and I got a scholarship when I was about 16 to do so. And then I actually lived at a home since I was 16, so I kind of self-supported myself through high school and everything else. And it sounds really crazy, but I looked at my ballet teacher and my contemporary dance teacher and my jazz teacher, and they're all in their 30s, and they were literally, like, my ballet teacher was kind of crippled and the others were doing very well financially, but they loved what they did, and I kind of wanted a bit more of financial security, so I ended up in hospitality. And my first job was at Coco's, and that was probably everything. It just taught me everything that I pretty much use in my life now. And I found that my core of me as a person who is an active service person who likes to look after people and nurture them, and do all that thing. Doing hospitality was just second nature, and I found that I just loved it. It kind of encompassed all the things that I didn't know that I actually liked as a person, because I was very young then. So from Coco's, I have done lots of restaurant jobs and things, managed lots of big teams of people, and also done personal assistant work, which I suppose is the same thing again, taking care of someone, sorting it all out. I see a bit of a trend. A little bit of interior building work as well, which is all the same again, about managing teams and kind of, so amazing. And then ended up at doing my business because I burnt out. I was running other people's businesses and restaurants with 100% gusto, everything I had, and then had nothing left to give, and kind of needed to find something, and I kind of stumbled onto it, and then sort of just felt that it was right, and it has always felt right.
That's amazing. And I think you said also before in terms of the word magic, but it's so much what you just said, making it look like it hasn't taken any work.
Yes.
It's that effortless kind of, I've taken care of everything and all you see is the end result. I mean, is that, it's quite selfless in its motivation, really.
I love it. I love, I suppose, I used to look after the same men every day and serve them, and one of them was left-handed, so I always made sure his cutlery was put the right way, and he liked chili at this. And one guy, I used to make his salad for him personally myself, and I would get called in on my days off, and I wouldn't find that a problem.
Wow.
I actually would find that just really, I suppose, flattering that someone would want just me to take care of them. Maybe it's a case of feeling needed. But I quite like, and I still do now, just taking care of things for people, and just because it's easy for me and I enjoy it. Why I see some people do things, whether they're planning a wedding or an event or sometimes even a funeral, and it's just too much, and I know that I could just make that a little bit better and a little bit easier, so I just instinctively go in and do it or help them or something.
That's amazing. I truly don't know anybody else that can.
Oh, no.
No, I mean it, that can create that end result the way that you can, but it's almost like you put yourself in the shoes of the person.
Absolutely.
And that's how you create it.
I actually live my life that way. I always step into someone else's shoes, even if it's a second thought. So I might have that first initial reaction to someone, that might be, I don't know, aggressive towards me in some sort of way or something, particularly when you're dealing with weddings and brides. The first thing they can put up on you is often their stress that comes from another source. So, and it's really easy to take that personally, but sometimes you just step back and go, wait a minute, where is it coming from and what is she going through? And sometimes with a little bit of compassion and understanding, they will open up and kind of tell you, and then it's actually nothing to do with you, and they walk away from you feeling so much more better than what they did when they came in. But it's nothing to do with what you actually do for a living. But
absolutely.
I kind of live my life like that. It's sort of my philosophy.
Wow.
Is that what you would call it?
Absolutely. So what are your other values or philosophies?
I grew up with my grandmother in Malaysia, and she had a bit of a gift in the village of being sort of a healer. And I had said to her when I was sort of in my 20s that people would come into my life and they wouldn't be in a very good state, and then when they were better and kind of stronger, they would leave, and I would found that really sad. And she sort of said to me, that's my gift in their world, is that people will come to me when they need me, and then they will leave when they're okay. So once she kind of told me that, I accepted it. I don't seek it out, but I find that if people cross my path for whatever reason and whatever journey they're going on, then I will be there for them when they need it. And then if they choose to move on and things, sometimes I've had people come back a full circle, which has been really lovely as well. So kindness is probably my number one word, just being kind to people. And I just think that can make such a big difference. And it can be just such a small act of whether it's just taking the time to talk to someone when no one else is talking to them, being polite to them with just your general manners, just making eye contact with them, and then sometimes even just as simple, it's okay, you know what I mean? So I think that if we maybe all did a little bit more of it, it would maybe change how we go about our day and the way the world maybe feels a little bit. But I just feel much happier as a person knowing that that's and I like who I am being that person, and sometimes it's hurtful. It can be hurtful to me. But then I just think, no, it's okay. That's just the way it is, and off I go again.
Wow. It's such, you come from such a giving, selfless place. You really do. But I'm glad that you, or not glad, but you know, that position does come with vulnerability though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes I stop and kind of have a bit of a talking to myself and go, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? You've got other things you should be focusing on, and you shouldn't be that kind of, you know, like, don't give so much, just be more reserved and everything. Then I kind of stop and go, no, I don't actually want to be like that.
Yeah.
I want to be the way I am. So I definitely had that philosophy with my staff. I have found myself in some positions when I've had up to, you know, my own small business, up to 10 staff, and I've had 1 or 2 members where I find myself being very reserved with them and not the same giving person that I am. And then I stop and go, no, this is my work environment. This is the team that I want to create, and I want to create this. I want my staff to come and nurture and look after each other as well as the customers. So I have to set that example, and I find that if I'm holding back for someone, it's actually them I need to let go, not me. I don't need to change me.
Yeah, absolutely. But that can be a tough lesson to learn though too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Amazing. I mean, just from asking these questions today, what your gift, I guess, you know, what you do is so much bigger than your business. Like, you can see that, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to see that now. Probably not so much before, but I'm definitely starting to see it now. And I'm actually starting to see a kind of a circle come about. Just some little things that have been happening with just some simple acknowledgements from people saying, hey, you helped me out like a couple of years ago when I needed this or that, and then seeing it kind of come around, and that's actually really that's really lovely. That's very amazing. Unexpected, but really lovely as well. And then I've just had some random things that happen to me, and I just think, well, you know, I deserve that, so that's okay.
Love it. Love it. All right, so last question.
Yes.
If you could do any job at all in the world, what would it be?
It would probably be something along the lines of almost being like a fairy godmother. I would love...
You are doing that already!
I know, but, you know, I kind of think it's like when you watch those shows and they go in and they just do something that's been so overwhelming for someone, whether it's declutter their house or renovate their house or make over a woman or whatever, it changes their life, and it's a gift that's given freely. I would love to do that for a living. I would love to do that. Like, I would love to be awesomely wealthy to be able to just go around and wave my magic wand and do things, because I think it doesn't have to be those grand gestures. It could be something really simple.
Absolutely.
That could just make someone's life really, you know, so much better.
Change someone's life.
And there's people of all types of walks of life, even people that don't look like they need help, that need a little bit of something. So I would love to do that for a living.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're
like
already doing it.
Secret kindness ninja.
Ninja godmother.
There's my new title.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lala, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure, darling.
That was gorgeous. Thank you.